Today is the 26th of September 2024 and it's my 43rd birthday, and with this I am making a video as a source of transition, change and growth, as a pivot point in my life to share more with the world the best of me and the best of what I can make that is fruitful for the world. The parental journey is a central part of that process, which is why I'm choosing to post this video on my channel, The Parental Journey. I'm on the parental journey myself, and probably like most other parents out there, it's one of if not the biggest motivator to kicking yourself up the arse, and that's definitely a process that I've been going through, quite a painful one in recent years, and in some ways over most of my adult life. And what I'm really understanding is that most people are like me. We are going through this human experience which is wrought with struggle. It's part and parcel of it. I've kind of realized that, and it's sinking into that pain and that struggle. I feel like that could be where the answers lie. And so in this first video, the lighting's not great, I haven't got a microphone on, the sound might not be great, but it's not about that for me personally. It's about stepping into this 7-year commitment journey from today until 50, this 7-year chapter where I am holding myself more accountable, I'm kicking myself up the bum, and I'm doing work that is quite frankly pretty scary for me, and it's in that fear and in that struggle that the growth really happens. And so it's like, oh shit, that's what I've got to do. Okay, let's do it. So there are some clear-cut things that I think are of real good value that I want to share in this video, but I'm not gonna be editing it or in any way, because what I've realized is that is part of my limitation coming through perfectionism, wanting to cut things to be perfect. That has been one of the things that has held me back. And what's the source of that? I think it's probably to do with what other people think. Yeah, and part of this painful process that I've been going through for the last several years, if not longer, is really detaching myself from the world in such a way that it's got to a point it doesn't really matter what anyone thinks now. And so I can't use that as an excuse to take longer to do things or not do things because of perfectionism. Now it's just like, no, let's just go for it. Let's just do it. Let's just be real, be vulnerable, share my journey and this experience of sinking into that shadow work in order to grow and give more to the world. So this is that statement to myself, to the world, through this video, here and now. And the things that I thought I'd like to share in this first video, which are sort of eluding me now as I've come to this moment of recording. Well, actually, that's the first thing. On the 21st, so 5 days ago, it was Peace Day, 21st September 2024. And a big part of my professional background is Peace Day. And I'd said the day before that I'd shared a post, I'm working on a peace poem with my children, might be able to share it tomorrow on Peace Day. and I wasn't able to. So this comes back to the parental journey, but it's also part of the bigger picture of what I'm working towards, you know, helping make the world peaceful. And also then that sort of sense of my role and my failures, and facing those failures now. I failed to post on Peace Day the work that was done by my children because it wasn't finished. And here I am trying, you know, to embed a journey of homeschooling alongside traditional schooling that my children are going through, which is pretty painful for them. The traditional school model in Thailand and over the world, there's a lot to be worked on, and that's part of this journey that's going to unfold over the next 7 years and beyond. Education, parenting, education, personal development, community development. These are the things that I'm really interested in, and I'm committed to kind of exploring and working within and around. So if that's something that you like the sound of, those 4 arenas, and then the overall sort of evolution of our world via those 4 arenas of parenting, education, personal development and community development, that's where I'm really sort of focusing my energy on throughout my life. The first pillar being parenting, this trench of growth and purpose that I'm in, and I know obviously millions and millions are sharing this same experience of being a parent, the roller coaster that it is, the highs and lows, the ups and downs, the difficulties, the blessed moments of absolute beauty where you just feel like, oh my God, this is why this makes all those struggles justifiable, you know, those magical moments that we share with our children. And so yeah, I wasn't able to deliver on this homeschooling post for Peace Day because I hadn't finished. And I'm sharing that now because it's a vulnerability, it's a failure, it's something that I was kind of beating myself up over. But now, through sharing this through the video, it's something I can release and let go of and be like, you know what? I sat down with my children working on a poem for peace as a committed father. That in itself is decent. Well done, me. I haven't got into the space where I'm able to share it yet because there's nothing really to share. We did it, and it still needs to be finished. But on this channel, you'll see there are other videos where I've been sharing the early stages of my homeschooling journey with a view to really put that into a more structured weekly program that can help other homeschoolers out there. So I wanted to kind of begin with this because it clears an initial, that the most recent thing that I've been holding in, it's like clear. I faced that now, my failure to post on Peace Day, what I did with my children. I've shared that now with you, and through that process of letting it out, through voice, being accountable, the truth shall set you free. So the saying goes, the truth shall set you free. And in this sense, it's opened up for me to now continue with a few other things that are really gonna be the meat of this video in a very short space of time. The first thing is this notion of shadow work. I feel like it's something that could be immensely beneficial for me, and I feel like it's something that many of us humans have to do, and so sharing my uncovering of this with you now through this video, and that I only really stumbled upon this in recent weeks in the build up to this birthday, my birthday today, knowing that it was a sort of a transitional day from what I'll say the Ben of old to a person reborn, or in the process of being reborn, having to die and let go of certain parts of me first. Those 43 years before, and stepping into what I would call an accelerated chapter of transition, this 7 years leading up to 50. the shadow work is really important. What I've stumbled upon is this concept of identity shifting, which I think is really something that I want to explore, embrace as a means to step into my entrepreneurial power more. I've really been hiding. I've been quite scared of the events unfolding in the world, and sort of what you could say, even now as I'm speaking this, I can feel the shadow within me and the fear. I can feel it in my heart and in my throat. So these are sort of the areas that I need to approach and work on. And there's a saying by Carl Jung, or Jung, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Carl Jung, that I stumbled upon in light of this recent awareness around the shadow. This was a couple of days ago, and the saying is, where your fears are, go there. I mean, just like the irony and the pain of it is like, that is it. That seems to be the secret. It's where the fear is, where the pain is, where the struggle is. Obviously, that's what you want to avoid, but that's where we need to go. It's like, wow, this human journey is a real mixed bag of emotion and experience, and wow, it's incredible. Where the fear is, that's where we need to go. And so that's what I'm trying to do through this video and beyond. And so, yeah, my fears of the powers at play, and, you know, taking on that in a way where I'm trying to bring a love energy to the world, constructive, positive solutions, and knowing that in the face of that effort, I'm going to meet resistance, the fear of that resistance, and some of it being a corrupt and evil resistance, facing these fears. So shadow work is something for me that's a really important part of this journey, my parental journey, as it is for every parent out there, I believe. And I believe that the shadow work is one of, could be, because I'm in the process, I don't know yet, I believe it could be a real pivotal way to show up in a more healthy manner around our children by doing our own shadow work. So there's the shadow work that is going to be part of this parental journal, my own journal on the channel, the Parental Journey. And then I wanted to kind of touch upon something that I think should resonate with anyone who's sort of 40 years and older. Maybe even a little bit younger, but certainly not younger than 30. I think 40 and up, so I'm 43, my generation. And I saw this video, I'll try and overlay it on this video, but it was a video that I saw today on my birthday, and it said, I didn't know I needed to see this video so much, and it was an AI generated scene, a compilation of people in the 80s dancing at a disco venue with all their great hairstyles and their clothes and their moves, just really free and letting it out, right? But every single face, male and female, had been done by AI with the face of Lionel Messi, the great. And it's just magical. It's just so well done. But I was resonating with that saying, this meme above it. You know, I didn't know that I needed to see this so much. I didn't know that I needed to see this, that it would be so nourishing to watch this video of Lionel Messi in all these different 80s outfits and hairstyles and faces and all these different moves everywhere. And the reason for me why it was so poignant was because it's a melding of these two worlds, these 80s world, which I'm from, and really represents a world of past, and this iconic footballer of the modern day era, someone who I think really can't be topped in terms of his stats and achievements. A bit like Michael Jackson, you know, that it's just untoppable. In what he did in the world of pop and what Lionel Messi's done in the world of football, can that be done again? I don't think so. Anyway, the combination of his face and their sort of bodies and these scenes of the 80s, it was like this melding of the past world and the current world going into the future, because AI's had its fingers involved in that and its creative contribution, right? And it's like these three worlds coming together: the past, the present, and the future. And I think that for me, as someone born in 81, as an 80s child, and others out there, let me just check this is recording. I think it is. Yeah. And others out there, we are such a unique, I'm trying to think of the right word. Unique is not strong enough. We are a transitional generation from the world before the web and into this world now, which is, you know, digitally sort of based. Has a kind of a more digital base to it. And having seen those two, having grown up in a world with 5 TV channels, with no mobile phones, with no internet, into my teenage years pretty much, and then seeing this birth of the web and beyond that, you know, e-commerce, and then social media, and then onto, you know, the recent events, I would say post 2020, where a next gear of shift and change was thrust upon us. To be a person that has lived on both sides, for me, feels quite powerful, and there's a purpose to my generation, us, people like of the similar age to me, and others who are also parents, to literally take the present moment now with all the possibilities before us and really work on ourselves to kick ourselves into gear, pick up our game, and help direct this world, our species, ourselves, our families, our communities, into a direction that does have greater degrees of hope and prosperity, abundance around it. We need to take charge of that. And through this video, this journal, this first journal that I'd like to do each and every Thursday from this point on, this is me in my initiation of that, standing strong and saying, you know, let's see what I can do over the next 7 years with a full speed ahead, casting aside the shadows and the inner demons and saboteurs and doubters and conflicts, opening it up to the world, and seeing what happens. I'd love to share this journey with as many people as possible. If you're still watching this, hopefully you know, best way to keep going is to, I suppose, subscribe to the channel. And incidentally, that's another shadow work piece that I've got to kind of face: self-promotion. This inner conflict of promoting myself being, I don't know what it is, shallow, and being egotistical. As I say that, I can feel it in my heart right now, this kind of tearing of like fear, and so I'm facing it in these moments, but needing to and wanting to, and in those words as well, they need to be cast aside. Needs and wants, that's where an identity shift happens, when you're not doing what you need to do. and wanting, it's just happening naturally, flowing from a space of knowing, from a space of a wholesome inner world. So that's the few things that I want to share in this initial video. There was probably more, but seeing as I'm going to be doing this weekly now, I've got plenty of time to share the shed loads of stuff to share, and it's exciting. So thank you if you watched this up to now. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope that in being vulnerable, I know watching other people be vulnerable and go through journeys of growth and sink into the struggle and share the fruits of their journey has helped me. So in doing this, I hope I can help you and others, whether you're a parent or not, but especially the parents out there, and especially the generation that grew up without the web. And now I believe it's time for us as the adults and leaders of today to really stand strong and be like, right, make a stand within ourselves and be like, how do we want to help move this world forward in a way that is beautiful and positive? Let's do that. So now is time to say goodbye, and I'm not going to edit this video apart from the top and tail. I'm just going to let it sit out there, and that for the rest of the day, I think I'm going to enjoy having done this. Just chill out. Hasn't been the best lighting, like I say, hasn't been the best sound, but it's not about that in this first video. So I hope it's been of use. It's certainly been of use to me. In fact, you know, first and foremost, I know it's been of use to me, and that's the most important thing. As a bonus, I hope it's been of use to you. But first and foremost, this has been about myself. So in a roundabout way, I hope that is of use to you. Until next week, when I will share what I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to share, but it's going to be cool. There's so much exciting stuff to share, so much happening, and so much to follow and uncover. So until then, over and out.